Alright, I guess we're live, right?
Yeah, looks like
So, yeah, this
ready
is
to go.
Harry Potter 3 and the Prison of Azkaban 100% for PC. I guess we
hmm
can explain the definition of 100% in the first cutscene, since it's already long.
Yeah, we got like a minute and a half cutscene, so
So, yeah,
yeah, whenever you're ready to go, I'm ready to go.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
All right, 100%. Basically any percent but enhanced. Um, we got to get all the wizard cards, all the secrets in every single level, and of course finish off all the Buckbeak, Pixie, and Monster Book of Monsters minigames.
Yeah, and especially the wizard cards are kind of tricky because you have to collect a lot of stuff for them. We have to buy, I think, like 15 cards or something from the merchants around Hogwarts. So we need a ton of beans and like over 2,000 beans and 410 pumpkin pastries. We also
Yeah,
need cauldron cakes for the portrait passwords.
yeah, we need 119 of those before we go into Fred and George's shop. Uh, well, the first time we do, at
Yeah.
least.
In those portrait passwords, they are first of all required to reach the credits, and there are also cards in them as well. And
hmm
since we need all cards, we have to visit them. Shouldn't the cutscenes match? Do they not? Maybe. Do you have low latency enabled?
I think so.
Oh, I don't, so.
Uh,
Whatever. It should be kinda alright, I guess.
oh, yeah.
So now we finally gain control after 1 minute 30.
And we walk straight into
Yeah.
another cutscene.
Exactly. But the first skip is coming up right after that. It's called Scabber Skip. We basically just skip a cutscene by jumping over it, but this skip is famous for like that people fail it at marathons. It's kind of finicky. But we used the
And,
luggage and
uh,
I got
I
it.
missed it.
So we used the luggage that they placed there for cosmetic reasons and we jump over the cutscene trigger. Saves around like 6 to 7 seconds. We won't care specifically for beans, since like you always have enough pretty much if you don't have to buy cakes in the end or something. So we won't collect beans specifically, we just get them over the course of the run.
Yeah, even if you play through the game, you're pretty much guaranteed to get enough beans by the end of it.
Yeah.
Unless you mess up absolutely horribly along the way. But I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, me neither. I've never like had the problem that I've been short on beans. And the next trick is already here. It's called turn casting. So we were supposed to open that cabinet with a 3 people cast, with a triple cast. But you can just, if you do it right, activate the Lumos behind it without opening the cabinet.
Yeah, we'll be using that throughout this run.
Yeah, it's coming up a few times.
Several instances of getting that.
The first part of the run is like pretty cutscene heavy because you can't skip them here. We will be able to skip a lot more cutscenes in the late game of the run, but for some reason they decided to make the majority of the early game cutscenes unskippable.
Yeah, they decided to do a lot of weird things in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the obligatory Harry Potter training stage.
Yeah, it's
Almost
kind
every
of
single
kind
Harry
of a
Potter
tutorial.
game
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Alright, who's getting 7 pages?
I just
And who's
got.
getting 4 pages?
So this is the main RNG part, or the only one, I think. The monster book can spawn between 3 and 7 pages. And the more you get, the faster you can kill it. So I had best RNG.
Well done! Is it okay to scream now?
Ron, you really do need to work on
Alright.
the accuracy of
You
your
got 7 pages, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh, nice.
I love collecting.
At least it's fair that way.
Research around enough
Mhm.
Hogwarts, we could find all 80 collectors'
But yeah, in HP3 we don't have a lot of RNG. This, and there's one instant of Cauldron Quake RNG. We either get 2 or 3 later on. But in general, this game is like relatively without RNG.
Let's get back to our compartment before we're missed.
I think the only true RNG part is the imps, and even that you can sort of manipulate them.
Yeah, there are certain strats for imps. They don't always work out perfectly, but you kind of can manipulate them to walk where you want them to.
Yeah, HP3 is a pretty good game for new speedrunners to learn, especially those who are looking to get into the other Harry Potter games. HP3 is a really good game to start on.
Yeah, especially better any percent, because like you don't have the routing and all of that. You just play through the game, learn a few tricks. It's a really fun run. So here, for some reason, we're at the end of the train and Harry passed out because of the Dementor, and we push stuff in front of the door. Don't ask me why, that's just what the game intended. Also, worth noticing is how cutscene skips work in this game, because they are different from every other HP game. Because you have to skip every cutscene differently. For some of them you have to mash into them and mash real hard to skip them. Sometimes you have to skip once and then wait and then skip again, so like they're really weird in this game. You have to learn how they work.
And there are some cutscenes where you have to pay attention to the music that's playing during the hourglass, and if the music stops, then you can mash cutscene skip again. If it doesn't stop, then well, you just gotta wait.
Yeah.
Hermione's loads better at spells.
You'll do fine. Just
I believe this is the longest cutscene in the game, or the longest, like after the load is another cutscene. And after that we have Carper, which is probably the hardest level, or everything that has to do with Carper is probably the hardest thing in this game.
Hello? Professor Lupin?
welcome to the Carpe
We will.
Killer level.
Yeah, we will explain how it works once we do the first swing, I guess.
Some are
Mhm. The first swing will be a good sort of like visual example of what Carpe really is, and how we can manipulate all the Tarzan swings. Still at Carpe.
Carpe retractum has two primary uses: to pull yourself towards something, or to pull something towards you.
Guess I might as well talk
See
about
if you can find a
secrets
statue to cast the
here,
spell at.
real quick. So there are 5 secrets in this level, and Harry's level as well. But for some reason, Hermione has 8.
Excellent. You can also
Yeah. Hermione has more of everything. She also gets more cauldron cakes in the bean bonus room. So I just did the first Carper swing. As you could see, I could swing right across the pit. I could do it here again, but I missed it.
continue holding the arrow key and press the right mouse button to
And I missed it again. I guess I just do it intended here. The swing is kind of tricky. So how Carper works, you're supposed to just get pulled through the thing.
That card
to the
almost
thing.
fell off the ledge.
Oh no.
Sorry,
But,
I interrupted you.
Oh no, no problem. But if you're in the air while you're casting
Oh my
Carper,
god, no.
then
No cutscene.
we can do kind of like Tarzan swings. It's kind of specific. You have to jump off at the right angle and the right timing to get the swing you want.
That thing doesn't look very friendly.
And if you get them, it looks sick. If you don't get them, it looks like what I just did.
Exploding wizard crackers. Spells may not be effective in this situation.
Thanks for the good luck,
Try not
Omaya.
to let the wizard crackers touch you while they're in the air. When they land, you can pick them up. But be careful. If you're not quick enough, the crackers
So if you
will
want to play this game casually or something, you might not get past this cutscene, because the imp tends to softlock if you play the game uncapped. That's why we have to cap the game at 60 FPS, because then it works just fine. But for some reason, if you run the game uncapped, then the imp softlocks most of the time.
I'm getting terrible ones right now.
Yeah, if they run apart, then it's really hard to get a double.
Loads more than beans in Fred and George's shop.
I don't think we mentioned that, but we also need all the challenge shields for every spell challenge. Also in the finals. That's kind of poor timing. And if you collect 10 challenge shields in a spell challenge, then you gain access to the bean bonus room. And that's
bonus room.
The bean bonus room. And that's kind of the main source of cauldron cakes for us.
And I messed that swing up.
Professor?
That's a fire crab, Rob.
Also, fire crabs are back from HP2.
Really?
Be careful. It can shoot fire out of its...
They behave like kind of different though, because they bounce a lot in this game.
To knock it over. Then cast again.
It's really annoying sometimes if they don't go into the trap because they bounce against it or something.
Really?
What's happening?
Oh no, just the secret with the card.
Oh yeah.
It up there.
Oh, that was not good. That was one of the worst places to die in this room. At least now I can show the faster strat. Just swing up here. So those swings might look easy, but like it's actually kind of specific where you have to jump off, or if you just have to run off or something. So this is probably for new runners the worst part to learn. But once you get the hang of it, it's so much fun to swing around. And this is the second instance of RNG. We either get 2 or 3 cauldron cakes out of each cast. And I got like average RNG.
I'm doing terribly at this room here.
I mean, it's Carper. that's what happens at Carper.
Still at carpet. Oh my goodness. Alright, whatever. We'll just go this way.
Next room is kind of the first one where you can see imp manipulation, hopefully. So what I do when I enter this room is to not look to the right, because if you do it like that, then the imps tend to stay together, and you can kill them with 2 throws, basically. You get 2 doubles. But that room is like the easiest example of imp manipulation. The later ones are way more complicated and usually don't work.
There were 5 secrets in carpet, in fact.
Yeah.
And I got a bad cauldron cake RNG there. What was that?
Did you get worse RNG?
Yeah, I got 4 cauldron cakes.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, I missed that trick. That was terrible. So, you're supposed to do a moving platform boost off here. The platforms come up in a certain speed, and we want to jump onto them and then get a moving platform boost.
You found all 10
We could have made it all the way across, but I failed it.
You get to visit the bean bonus room.
Sorry for not showing the bean bonus room here, but there's nothing in it for us. They're just beans, we don't want them, so we hit the trigger here that the devs placed there for some reason. And we're out, but no worries, we will show the bean bonus room off enough in this run. And now to one of the most finicky tricks, because no one really has a consistent setup for it. Except Rushla, I believe, maybe, but he rarely runs this game. So we jump at the right time and slide up the fireplace here. And it's really dumb. Got it relatively fast here. And it's time for some of the best secrets in the game, in my opinion. I really like the Hogwarts grounds. They did a good job.
One of my big fears in this race is missing one of the shields.
Yeah, same for me. I should know where all of them are, but it happened before. Oh, that was the wrong switch. I just said that you might have a consistent setup for Fred and George skip, Res. Oh, I'm messing this up a little bit. Come on, Harry. Okay, that's weird. That never happened. I messed up the sliding puzzle in grounds, where you have to hit the things. I don't know how. I like hit the one switch 3 times, but apparently didn't register it. I don't know. But yeah, this secret took me a while as a child as well.
No.
Fred and George skip.
Yep. I got it, and then.
Oh, and
jump
then
up.
jump off. Yeah.
But I got it again, so that's good.
Also, this Lumos is kinda annoying because it opens 2 secrets for some reason. And people either found that one here or the other one, because you just don't expect the Lumos to open 2 things at the same time.
Harry, come over here!
And the second one is right here. If you do it right, you can trigger 2 with the same Lumos, but you just don't expect it as a casual playthrough. Yeah, in a casual playthrough.
Yeah, you do have to be relatively fast to get over there.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure to not accidentally hit the merchant. Sponsored by some.
You have a great clip of that happening. Are you doing pixies before Buckbeak, by the way?
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna go straight into Buckbeak.
Okay, I mean I am, because like those pixies can softlock, and I usually do them now because I don't want the softlock at the end of my run. So there won't be happening anything exciting on my part for the next 2 or 3 minutes, but like that's what 100% is at some point. We get 5 cards here if we defeat like 5 waves or 5 big waves of pixies, so we have to do it.
Earn a collector's card each time you can beat the swarm. If you can drive off every last pixie in the well, you'll earn all 5 cards in the set. But that's no easy feat.
You forgot to clip it.
Oh my god. Forgot the Lumos.
Oh no.
Of course.
At least you didn't mess up the puzzle before that. That's even worse. Doing pixies now apparently loses you 2 seconds over doing them later on, but what can happen is that one of them gets stuck in the well and it's a soft lock basically. You can't proceed. And I don't like that if it happens after 1 hour in the run, so I'm doing them now. I mean, it doesn't matter for the marathon, but I'm just used to it.
I'm heading ahead to Buckbeak here. And yeah, Buckbeak, you just gotta fly through the lanes, Superman 64 style. First one is the easiest, and then it just gets the first one. Also, Nixxo, don't mess up the red rings.
Yeah, so I messed up red rings like 3 times in practice. I got like 3 runs in that were a minute over PB, and they died at red rings. So yeah, I hope that doesn't happen today. Buckbeak has arguably the best cutscene in the game though, after you finish the curse.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that.
Oh. Also, Bugbeak is kinda more like harder than it looks at some points because the collision is really badly done. So the walls are a lot bigger than they seem sometimes, and they're invisible walls as well. So you have to practice it a little bit to know where to fly and where not to fly.
Also, just the fact that Buckbeak can't go backwards.
Yeah.
As well, so that's a little bit.
Okay, there's one pixie. I was afraid that I got the soft lock.
Best cutscene in the game. Really well done here.
Okay, I finally finished up pixies, so I can play again.
Fly away and good riddance. That was fantastic.
Yeah, that cutscene is really well done. Malfoy just walks off.
What's that thing?
So yeah, at this point the run kinda calms down a little bit. A lot of cutscenes and just short gameplay elements, but once we get to Transfiguration, then it gets interesting again, and there are a lot of tricks in Transfiguration actually.
It's also worth noting that this is really the only time that we fight Peeves in the first 3 Harry Potter games. In Harry Potter 1 and 2, you're able to avoid fights with him.
Oh, yeah, true.
But in HP3, you do have to go through this. But
Yeah, I mean in HP1 Hundo it's kind of hard to avoid him, but in general, yeah,
yeah.
the only fight that we ever do with Peeves.
In any percent, I guess.
Yeah.
I should have clarified.
We haven't found a way to skip him yet. Maybe at some point.
Emphasis on yet.
Yeah.
Keep looking, guys. Please.
There are actually 2 more Peeves fights in the game, but we skipped those. The first one is when we do the slide up the fireplace, Fred and George skip. And the second one is like right after the end. The end of the normal game, that is. Obviously not the end of the run.
There's a good fellow.
So now the best cutscene is at my place, coming up.
A collector's card.
That really well done. Come back to the paddock anytime you want another go. There's 5 courses to fly in all, and you can win a collector's card.
It's not really a lot to say at this point because it's basically just cutscene after cutscene, but as I said, later on we will be able to skip a lot of the cutscenes.
I'm dying. Look at me. It's killed me.
You're not dying.
You're not dying.
Do you think he'll be alright? Of course.
To use the mouse to control Bugbeak. Yeah, we are super advanced.
Malfoy will make something out of this.
Actually, stay tuned, because the run after next is a drawing tablet.
Oh,
better
yeah.
80%.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
Thanks, B-Man. B-Man's another HP3 100% runner who unfortunately couldn't make it to the race today.
Yeah. Thanks for good luck. I really can't imagine how carpet swings work on a drawing tablet. And
Carpe
I'm
final.
really looking forward to seeing that.
Looky, it's Weasel, Grunge and Potty. Peeves. I don't like the look of that armor.
He's locked us in.
at once.
Ron, get ready to use your carpet retractor.
One thing that I don't think we mentioned is at some stuff that you have to pull with Carper, you can skip the animation a little bit if you jump at the same time you cast a spell. I can show that off on Peeves here. So if I jump here, then Ron basically has no Carper retractor animation. If I don't, then he like pulls it a little bit. It's not important at the Peeves fight, so it's not really the best place to show it off, but we did it in Carper at some places where you have to pull at those stone things.
You were brilliant, Ron. It's easy to be brilliant when you're scared half to death.
We'd better get on to Transfiguration class. Peeves has probably made us
Where are
late.
you right now?
I'm just about to head into the leg jump room.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna do leg jumps though, because they've been really inconsistent for me.
Okay, I should be able to do them. You will see them at my stream probably. So
You might wanna explain what leg jumps are.
yeah, they're first of all probably one of the skips that new runners also have problems with, because it's kind of weird. We use the menu for it, and we jump as late as possible, and then pause at the right moment, and change the word detail, and that gives you a little lag in the game, and you gain a little bit more height, and you can jump further than you would normally be able to. So we can make a jump across where we wouldn't be able to normally. So it's a pretty cool trick, but it's kind of precise. You have to know when to jump and when to pause.
Hmm.
Me? Oh, yes.
And also there may be things to do with the size of your game window that influence it as well.
Yeah, we're not quite sure yet what like influences how good you can leg jump, because it's really consistent for some people and it's really inconsistent for others. But like the best guess is obviously it depends on the amount of lag that you can produce, so it's probably like the worse your computer is, the better your leg jumps are. But not quite sure yet. I mean it's kinda, you can kinda compare it to HP2 brightness boost, because it's a menu related thing, but we don't really boost up, we just gain a little lag and a little boost forward. Also we can skip a little bit of dialogue here, for some reason. The only place where it's possible, we can skip McGonagall's lines. Another turn cast here, probably the easiest one. So the trick with turn cast is kinda that you end your casting movement where your goal is. So if you end your cast right where the rabbit is supposed to be behind the wall, then you should be able to get it. You also didn't comment on well skip. We are supposed to go all the way around in this room.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
We
that.
can just slide up here. It's been really inconsistent for me for some reason lately. I believe they patched it, to be honest.
EA is still caring about HP3 all these years later.
Pretending that EA cares about anything. So this is the leg jump room. But we of course have to get the secret first.
Oh yeah, there are 8 secrets in Hermione's level. I don't remember if I mentioned that, but for some reason Hermione gets more than Harry and Ron.
She just has 5 cards though as well. Alright, so I changed the word detail to something else, and we can jump across here. We wouldn't be able to make this jump with a normal jump. Oh. Games gets patched when the timer's running. Yeah, that's accurate. The cauldron cake down here is kind of a backup cake. I get it when I'm short on cakes, and since I didn't have best RNG, I did get it now. But if you have best RNG at Carper, you don't have to go for it. That's kinda, the route is kinda, we all have the same route for cauldron cakes at least. Different ones for pumpkin pastries though. Probably. Yeah, I already did go for pixies. I always do, just in case of a soft lock. In better any percent, this room is kind of interesting as well, because we will have to activate some platforms with a dragon, and we only need two in theory to get up to the platform where we need to go. But in Hundo, we need to activate all three because it triggers a secret.
Oh, oops.
So yeah, normally we could skip this fireplace.
I just got the glitch where you don't need to beat all the imps when the door opens.
That's nice. Yeah, that sometimes happens. For some reason you didn't beat all the imps and the game still registers as if you beat all of them.
Alright, now we're going into the maze skip thing. That was pretty easy there. We got the first try.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, you're supposed to go through the entire maze, but you can just jump on the door there. And...
Yeah, the maze isn't like too big, but it still saves a bunch of time. It's kind of a hard trick though. It's like the ledge where you have to stand at is really small.
This, Miss Granger, is a bundy. A bundy might even extend a foul trail of slag that you will need to avoid. Ugh, it's repulsive.
I'm gonna use the dragon to drop down into one of these secrets here. We used to get it with the bunny, but yeah, I don't know who it was that told me that we could actually just drop down there with the dragon.
Yeah, I don't know who found that either. There was a really stupid strat for that because like you can get the bunny glitch that you keep control of the bunny for some reason after you completed the task. So normally if you dig something free, you complete the task, then you lose control of the rabbit. But sometimes you can keep it, and we could use that to trigger the secret. But it was like 100% luck based, so it was a dumb strat. Getting it with a dragon is better.
Are you ready for the bean bonus room?
Hey, bean bonus room hype. First time in the run. Bean bonus room is pretty much self-explanatory. We go around, collect every cauldron cake and pumpkin pastry that we find. Because we will need them later on. I have no clue what to do here. I forgot what I have to cast at, but it worked out kinda. Oh, that was not what you do at Maze Skip. At all. Oh, come on. That's what I said when I say it's kind of finicky. Ah, there we go. Thanks for the good luck. Oh, I wanted that pumpkin pastry. Damn it. World record for most beans in a single bean bonus room. That sounds like a great category, to be fair.
Harry Potter 3 category extensions.
There's actually a way to get all the beans in the bean bonus room, because after you 100%ed the game, you gain access to the bean bonus room again, and you don't have a timer this time. So you can actually collect everything that you see. It's really fun. Sadly, we don't do it in this run.
Oh, actually, I should go get Ron. Let's bring Ron in here.
Which means I get to go to the bean bonus room. Fantastic.
There he is. For a second.
Yeah, Ron is great in this game. It's the same trigger that we used to leave the room as Ron in the first bean bonus room. For some reason it spawns in Ron this time. If you do the same thing on the other side of the door, it spawns in Hermione. I'm trying to show that off. Also, don't fake Quidditch, please.
Don't say Quidditch.
Don't fail it. For some reason, they decided that Quidditch should not be playable anymore in this game. So it's just a long cutscene.
Do you get to play Quidditch in HP3 for console?
I don't actually know. At least you can fly on Buckbeak as well, like in an open world, I know that.
Hmm. Game Boy Advance Dementors coming in from behind.
Really high quality.
Just like the game, Nixxo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you don't play Quidditch?
Alright.
Okay. Alright.
To be honest,
Oh,
it's probably
shame.
for the best. Oh, shame. Yeah, the meme. So I'm trying to show off the glitch where Hermione comes in. I was really slow. So yeah, there we go. It triggers the cutscene again. For some reason, it does not lose time, yeah.
Collect as many goodies as you can before the time runs out.
Do we get Ron? Yes, there's Ron.
Hermione! There you are! How was it?
Excellent. I can turn things into dragons now.
Wicked! You mean the flying, roaring...
Now we have more
burn
cutscenes,
down the village
because
sort of
that's
dragon?
what this game is about.
No, it's just a very small transfigured dragon.
Oh, shame. You can have another go at the challenge if you like.
There should be an HP3 cutscene
Go
percent.
back and do it another time.
I think Ramanujan actually did a run of that, if I'm not mistaken.
Even though the following morning
And apparently Sirius has actual voice lines in the game. We never hear him speak in like any category because like the only cutscene he's in that we can't skip, he doesn't say a word. So I have no
He sounds
idea how his
Expelliarmus.
voice sounds. Oh yeah, he sounds Expelliarmus, yeah, that's true. But
But it
it's not
sounds like
really,
Vincent.
yeah. It's not really a sentence or anything.
Alright, I'm at the Dementors now. Dementors are speed. Yeah, you just cast Expecto Patronum, and yeah, they die. There's gonna be a trick later on in multi-Dementor that we'll use, but we'll explain that when the time comes.
Yeah. It's like, Lupin explains it a little bit, but you can only cast a spell once the white ring is up your wand far enough. So you kind of have to time it to cast it as soon as possible, but not too early, because if you cast it too early, the Dementor won't die.
The boggart will appear as the thing you fear the most, which in your case, Harry, is fear in the form of a Dementor. First, we'll practice on a target.
He actually explains it right now at my screen.
Hold down the left mouse button to build the spell's power. You'll see a ring of light move up your arm. For a perfect cast, you must release the spell just as the ring passes over your wand. Give it a try. The incantation
Right, I'm in the library right now.
is Expecto Patronum.
Don't soft
in
lock.
better, yeah. In better any percent, you can soft lock it with a very specific trick. That involves a double swing right at the beginning. But we're going the easy way with it, and we're making Hermione spawn behind that door there. Usually, if you play through casually, you have to actually get her up there.
Yeah.
But I actually don't know how that glitch works too much.
I think we just trigger the cutscene that spawns her behind the door. I think that cutscene is in the air, and we swing into it.
Oh, okay.
I guess that's kind of how it works.
A Dementor!
No, Harry, concentrate. The boggart has taken the shape of a Dementor.
And I'm heading into Monster Book of Monsters right now, so it's pretty much the same thing as you guys saw on the train, but just 5 levels of it.
Those mini games that they included are like kind of the worst part about the run. They are really boring in my opinion, and we just have to do them for the cards.
Before the spell has time to wear off.
This is also really responsible from Lupin to let Harry drop in this trap. Nothing that could have happened here.
A+ teaching at Hogwarts.
As always. Bottomless pits and traps and all of that. First of all, we need the card here. I hope you didn't forget the card in library.
Oh god.
Oh.
Almost messed that up there.
And if you time it right, there's the cutscene trigger right next to the carpet thing. And that gets Hermione spawned behind there. And then we do usually a turn cast here that I missed 2 times.
There we go. Final card.
Nice.
Now off to Solid Ice.
Yeah, the best meme of HP3. There's so many great lines in this game because the cutscenes are kinda weird sometimes. But yeah, Solid Ice is one of the best. There's actually not too much to Glacius. The slides are kinda self-explanatory. We obviously have to watch out that we don't slide out.
Yeah, it's pretty easy not to.
Yeah.
You just have to watch out for a certain spot in the last slide.
Yep.
And also the 9th shield.
Yeah, the last shield in Glacius, I guess we can say that now, is kinda weird because if you're going full speed on the slides, it's on a weird cycle. If you're doing it casually, you should get it. They kinda try to make the cycle so that you get it casually every time. But if you're too fast, then it's on a bad cycle. And since we are always going too fast as speedrunners, it's always on a bad cycle. So we need a really weird setup to get it.
It is pretty consistent though, so once
That's
you get the hang of it, it's just another part of the run really.
Yeah, it's not too hard.
Just the anxiety leading up to it.
Yeah, if you miss that shield, then it's really bad. It's a really big time loss.
And it's pretty much like a 45-second time loss, I think.
Yeah, you have to do the whole slide again, and that's a big one. Is that the last card? No, it's not. Okay, I got the last card now. Finally, so most of the annoying minigames are done. It's just Buckbeak. Probably the hardest minigame though.
Well, we'd better get on to Charms class.
Glacius is useful for freezing a number of things, Harry.
Is there even a single trick in Glacius? I'm trying to think about it, but not really, right? Most of it is just pretty casual, playing through the game. Obviously trying to be fast and have good movement, but in case of tricks, Glacius is kinda boring.
Well, these glaciers 100%. Better any percent or 90%. You can use the bridge. There.
Yeah, true.
After I get this shield here. So yeah, after this load here, there's 3 pixies that you gotta kill. Once you kill them, there's a bridge that rises from the depths, and if you jump onto one of those bridges and then jump off again, then you can just skip an entire like minute and a half of gameplay just by landing on the other side.
Yeah. It's another moving platform boost like the one in Carper that I failed. We don't do that in Hando because 100% because there are cauldron cakes at the sides and like a lot of cauldron cakes and pumpkin pastries, so we want to get those. And it's definitely worth to take the time loss. And there's a card there as well, so we need it.
Yeah, the card's pretty important.
Yeah. I'm trying to go for like every pumpkin pastry on the slides, but some of them are kind of hard to get because they're in really dangerous spots. Some of them you can't get at all because cauldron cakes have priority. But yeah, generally I'm trying to collect everything on the slides.
Awesome imps right now.
Oh, that was not what I wanted. Yeah, imps kind of determine how good your glaciers is. It's pretty much the only thing that can save you time in this split. If you don't die or something stupid happens. Also, a little thing for the salamanders that I do is that I always cast salamander, fire, and then salamander, because if you cast 2 times at the salamander, then sometimes you don't kill it for some reason. Then it just eats your spell and stays alive. So, to make sure that I kill everything in 3 casts, I do it like that.
It seems to be a little bit faster to do it that way.
Yeah, I think so.
So here's the part of the slide where you have to look at it. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Got the card.
Oh, I don't need this chest.
And got the shield. Hell yeah.
Nice. The first really scary part is done for you. There are a few tricks that are not hard, like probably the most famous is Intrinsic Final. It's called window skip. So they are really easy in general, but if you fail them, it loses you like 40 seconds or something. So the pressure's on.
Oh, the pressure's on.
You should get them every time in practice, but it's different in a run. Can someone... Thank you, Imp. So that was terrible manipulation for me. Really slow imps so far. But yeah, it's kinda... Their movement is kinda based on your movement. So you're in the bean bonus room again.
The bean bonus room.
Oh, there's one pumpkin pastry left. I want that. Okay, final slide time for me. I hope I don't miss it. We also always go right on those, if you have the decision to go right or left, because like the shield is on the right side. We go left in better any percent because it's just faster, but we need this shield and cauldron cakes and everything. So the right way is the way to go. Okay, no, that sounded...
The right way
yeah.
is the right way.
Right, yeah, that's what I wanted to say first, but no. I got it as well.
Nice. Yeah, like as we said earlier, it's pretty consistent once you get to learn it.
Yeah.
Not only that, you managed to get all 10 challenge sheets.
We slow down enough to get the shield. If you would go faster, then you would fly past it.
Wow, this is the beam bonus room. That's right, Harry. Collect as many goodies as you can before the time runs out.
The blue or the scarlet variety. It doesn't really matter, I suppose.
Oh no, Willow's up. Probably my least favorite split of them all.
Oh yeah, Willow isn't like hard or anything.
yeah.
It's just annoying because you have to go with Hermione, and there are a bunch of skeletons that you gotta kill, and Hermione has to cast on the skeletons as well with you, and she's just slow.
Yeah. The AI is not as terrible as in HP4, but Hermione is like, she takes a while until she realizes what's up.
Dude, nothing's as terrible as HP4.
That's true, yeah. That's probably the worst secret in the whole game in Willow as well. The one skull that gives you one cauldron cake. So dumb. It's hidden in a really bad spot. It's hard to find, and then you get one cauldron cake from it, and it's the secret.
It is the one skull right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Wow! This is the beam bonus room. Wow! This is the beam bonus room.
This is the beam bonus room.
As many goodies as you can before the time runs out.
I think we'll get 10s after Pixies. Yeah, we kind of have different routes, so that's why we are not in sync anymore, but we will see after Pixies who has the lead.
Yeah, it looks like I'm ahead by a lot right now, but actually no.
Or the scarlet variety.
Yeah, it should be. We should be on same pace, I guess.
You can have another go at the Glaciers Challenge if you want, Harry.
Or we can come back later.
When am I gonna do the Pixies? I'm gonna do the Pixies after finals, right before I do Buckbeak.
Yeah, it will take a while until we see the paces, until we can compare.
Was that? I think it was.
Hold up, Beak.
Poor Hagrid. They've carried out the execution. Look! It's Scabbers!
You see, Ron, Crookshanks was innocent.
I've heard monkeys say that he can, or I guess Liam, can cast through this one wall for the secret,
Oh yeah, that one.
but I've never been able to do it.
Same. I don't think it's possible, to be honest.
I've got
I don't know.
you naughty rats! Oh,
In theory, we might be able to do a turn cast there, but I don't know. I've never gotten it.
if that dog can get in, we can.
So Willow and Back in Time are kind of chill splits with a few tricks, but nothing too major. But after that, it gets wild. Finals are the worst part about this game to run, and probably the best to watch. Especially Carper Final is really hard.
Two of them! Rick the Templar! Rick the Templar!
Glacier's final is like these two as well.
Yeah, that's true. They kind of gave up on Glacier's Final. It's just waves of enemies.
goodness. Chocolate frogs.
I think that's really just the general idea around this game. They just
Yeah.
gave-
Yeah, Willow is a lot of dual cast with Hermione and nothing else pretty much. If you try to go too fast and you shoot at the skeletons, you can actually kill them in 2 hits, but they will respawn sadly. But if that happens, you lose so much time because it takes time for them to respawn.
That Glacius charm, Harry.
So always wait for Hermione, don't go risky.
Missed that one there. Thank you, Hermione.
Oh, I need the chest.
Right then. How do I get across this?
Some of the secrets we enter and then quit out of the dragon. It's just faster than fly back. It's kind of awkward though because quitting out of the dragon is always on enter. I don't think you can rebind it. And to press enter you kind of have to let go of the mouse and it's a little bit awkward.
Nope.
Another thing worth noticing is that there's no fall damage in this game. We abused this a lot more in Better Any Percent because there's a cool leg jump in the end, but we have one place where we do it in this category after Fred and George's shop. We will come to that later, I guess, but if I would fall down here, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I wouldn't die or anything, just a time loss. The damage system in general is pretty weird in this game. It's really hard to die. They made it really hard. You gain like nearly no damage from the enemies.
Yeah, you have to intentionally get hit or
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going on to Dementors right now and I'll show you, hopefully, the little trick that you can do to get through them a little bit faster. So, as a Dementor's dying, you can cast on it, like so, and then quickly move to the side, and I got it there. When you cast, a Dementor will spawn in that sort of same area where you expect Potterthon's going, and yeah, you get it there.
Yeah, you save one charge, pretty much, at the time of charging one spell.
It's really not like a big time save, it's maybe just 5 seconds, 10 seconds
Yeah.
at most. Yeah.
It saves some time, so... Sometimes you get unlucky though and you cast at the Dementor and a second one doesn't spawn in the save spot, so you can't get it.
Where's the dog? It's not a dog.
'Cause I'm back in time.
Stair setup actually faster? I'm not quite sure which stair setup you mean, Beeman.
Oh, I think he meant my stair setup because I messed up on the cast for the second block.
And Scabbers.
I
Oh.
casted too early when it got to the centers.
To Pettigrew.
No, okay.
Stayed there.
Watch.
So no, it's not fast. I just messed it up.
Oh, you got the glitched out stairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that can happen.
Pettigrews and Animagus. It wasn't Sirius Black who betrayed your parents, Harry. It was Pettigrew.
I'm trying to get the Dementor Snipe as well, but I usually struggle on this wave. I get them pretty consistent on the second Dementor encounter, but I don't know, for some reason I struggle with that one. Yeah, like that. That was just terrible.
those were okay, so not good. Okay.
Nice.
Not bad.
The metas are also loud, in case you didn't notice. Oh, I just golded Willow. Nice.
Hey, nice.
The thing with the Dementors is that they are on a different sound slider or volume slider. It's kind of the same like Aragog and HP2. You can't really control their volume.
My children.
A spongify tile! You did it!
Perfect. Careful now.
Right,
Oh, I don't think I got the pulsing
the
actually.
door closed.
Well,
Come on, rabbit.
there's got to be a
Come on, rabbit.
Yeah,
You
that
can do this.
that turn cast in the last room of Back in Time is probably the hardest in the game. And it's one of the weirdest as well, because you're supposed to get a double cast in after you open the door.
Oh, we did
But
get it actually.
the game actually registers if you do a single cast before the doors open, because yeah, it's confused obviously. You're not supposed to cast through solid walls or doors.
Or maybe solid ice.
perfect. Hold tight. I'll see what's in there.
Alright, heading off to more Dementors now. Pretty self-explanatory at this point for the game. Finals are after this though, so it gets a little bit more exciting.
Oh, what? I just got, I think, a 5 imp kill. That was fast.
Got the snipe.
A lot of good that did.
And I got it again, actually.
Oh, nice. I just hope I didn't forget a card somewhere.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So this turn casts, you can actually hit the chest as well, like I just did.
you
And
got
it
that?
saves a little. Yeah, usually try it once. It saves a little bit of time because the chest takes a while to open as well. And if you trigger it before, then I think you save not much, but a little bit.
So I'm heading into carpet finals right now, and this level is hell.
Good luck. Yeah. Because we have to collect all shields here as well. They literally do nothing. You don't get any reward for getting them or anything, but it's in the 100 rules. So, yeah, I guess Coffee has to concentrate for the head. And I can kind of explain the concept of Carpet Final, because, like, pretty much everything is on a cycle. The main goal is to get a good cycle near the end. But to achieve that, we have to do a series of really difficult Carpe swings. And yeah, if you fail one of them, you miss the cycle probably. If you fail another one, you might miss another cycle, and every cycle is like 20 seconds in the end. We also abuse the death mechanic a lot, death warping, kinda, if you want to call it like that. Because the respawn zones are kinda weird in Carpe Final. Sometimes you get really unlucky though, and you die in the right spot, and you still spawn not where you want to be. So yeah, Hundo Carpe Final is a really hard split. And I'm entering it right now.
Good luck.
Thanks. Also important that you spam away the first cutscene, because as I said, cycles. If you don't spam that away, this platform that I'm just landing on would not be here. It would have been, it would be further away. So yeah, that's the first trick of Carpe Final actually. Fall warping, yeah, you could call it fall warping. We die and respawn where we want to be, and it's a lot faster than actually walking there. Oh no. Okay. However that worked. I'm trying to go for the window strat here. It literally doesn't save time, but it's cool.
That was a
Damn it, didn't get
perfect
it.
carpet final.
Nice. You can go through the window and saves a few frames, I guess. Also here.
Okay, I'm heading off to a window skip.
Oh, good luck for that. Yeah, that's one of the skips we talked about earlier. If you missed that one, it's 45-second time loss. Don't know how I didn't die right there, but again.
Oh yeah,
There we go. Did you get it?
got it.
Nice. So it's not a hard trick, but the pressure's on in the run. Because of the big time
Especially
stuff.
here.
Time loss.
I know Ramon has lost PB runs to that window skip.
I mean, we all have at some point, right?
Yeah. Hoggers.
Yeah, my Kappa final wasn't really good. I failed a lot of the easy swings.
Yeah.
Oh my god. As long as nobody presses replay final, because for some reason you have that option in the end, and yeah, you have to replay the final, and that loses a lot of time. It happened to me before on good runs that I pressed it, because I wanted to go fast, and yeah, won't risk it in this race.
That's one of the things in this game that I can actually say I've before. Failed the white rings, but I've never done this before.
Okay, I got the window jump.
Nice.
The next part was kinda hard for me as a child, because when I do casual gameplays or playthroughs, I always want to collect everything, but sadly we're on a timer soon, so we can't collect everything. And in a casual playthrough it's really annoying to get reset to the beginning all the time because you want all beans.
This is where I actually rage quit the game as a kid.
Yeah, it's
Couldn't
understandable.
get past it.
There are also two kinda secret cauldron cakes here. I'm trying to show both of them off, just because why not? One of them is really hidden in plain sight, and I think it's in every runner's route as well, but the other one is kinda secret. And we try to get all the pumpkin pastries we can. We will definitely need them. So the other cauldron cake is right here. The one secret. And that's a really hard to find one in my opinion. But a good backup if you're short in the end. I don't think I'm short, but whatever.
I guess it's worth noting that in finals there are actually no secret.
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about those. No secrets, no cards.
Nothing really, except shields.
Yep.
And a few stuff to collect. Cauldron cakes, pumpkin pastries. Here's a second secret cauldron cake. This one is not really secret though.
Gotta remember not to click through the shield again.
guess I will go for Glacier's leg jump because I think I'm good on cakes. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it just to show it off.
Alright.
It's usually an any percent strat because you skip the slide with it. And on the slide there are several cakes and pumpkin pastries right here. 2 cakes and 3 pumpkin pastries. But it's a cool strat. You can walk in the void pretty much with a leg jump. And then you respawn up here. I kinda wanted that safe book.
Down here at the bottom, you can do turn into these sort of graded walls, or metal walls, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can hit the salamanders behind them, and that saves a little bit of time, but I'm not getting it right now.
The game also counts just the enemies you defeated down there. So it can happen that one imp is still alive and the next wave already spawned in because you turn casted a salamander. Oh my god, my
Wait, what?
crabs.
Excuse me? God. Salamanders.
This is one of the places where the game can softlock as well. Sometimes the crabs go in, but the platform doesn't go down for some reason, and yeah, nothing you can do about it. That's why I wanted to collect the safe book, but I didn't. So let's hope it doesn't happen.
Fingers crossed for Nixxo. Bless RNG.
Okay, it didn't. Good.
So here's where we would normally be done with the game in better 80%, because better 80% you don't have to collect all the shields and whatnot. 90% you do have to do all the cutscenes and get all the quarter passwords and whatnot in order to get to the credits, but here's where a better 80% run would end.
Mm.
But we've still got a lot to go with this game.
So those are the turn casts for the salamanders that we mentioned earlier. Oh, come on. And you see that the walls are lowering already, even though I haven't killed all the imps. That's because the room only counts the entities I killed, or the enemies. I loved this room as a child, because candy dropping from the sky is always awesome.
I'm heading into Pixies right now.
Have fun with that.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, so that's where the point where we see how the race is going. Because
Yeah,
I
if
did
you're
them already.
finishing up Glacier's final, I think you've got a considerable lead right now.
Yeah, Pixies take like 3 to 4 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
They were great fun.
Having nightmares for months.
I like how Dumbledore acknowledged that they were always killed in their finals. Almost killed. He knows that his school is dangerous.
Come on, Pixie.
So yeah, from this point on, it's like basically just cleaning up stuff, collecting everything that we need to fulfill 100%. And the best part is coming up, where we just buy cards for 4 minutes or something.
You
Looking
guys ready for
forward.
card grinding?
Really hyped about that. Also, Buckbeak is coming up for me, so the flying stuff is not really hard, except the last curse. You can only miss 3 rings on red rings, and it's kind of hard to do.
No trouble at all, Harry.
Ron. Thank you.
can skip a few green rings without worrying, because like we have more than enough. I mean, I failed green rings before, but it shouldn't happen, usually. But yeah, I mean, the obvious, every ring gives you 100 points in the score in the upper right corner. And there's always a goal score that you have to meet. 2,800 for this challenge.
Well done, Buckley. All right.
A little trick
on,
that we
Pixies.
do here is to skip the cutscene that's otherwise unskippable. We go to the menu earlier than we should do, but it still counts. And it gives us the card and completes the curse. Doing that saves actually more time than it might look like, because the cutscene is kinda long. That happens after you did collect the last ring.
Got it. Made it.
Please no soft lock Pixie.
Fingers crossed. So, just imagine you're on a really good run and then a soft lock happens. That's my reasoning to do them in the beginning, because after 1 hour of like having a good run and doing well, it's really dumb to get a soft lock there.
Alright, no soft lock.
Nice.
We good.
I mean, it's not super common. It happens sometimes. It doesn't happen often, but if it
It
happens,
only happens
it's
on PP
bad.
phase.
Yeah, that's true.
Well done, Buckley.
We can miss 5 rings here on yellow rings,
If it isn't too much trouble.
which is kind of a challenge, but usually not too bad. The real challenge are red rings.
Got it.
One thing that a lot of people also don't know for some reason is if you press or hold forward, the forward input while you're flying Buckbeak, he actually flies faster. I've seen so many people that started out with that game actually don't do it for some reason.
Well done, Buckley.
Liam lost 2 different 112 pace runs on Pixie Softlock, yeah.
Got it.
He lost triple crown pace on that as well.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, he lost his triple crown praise everywhere, probably. He had so many runs that were good and died somewhere. This ring is actually really hard to obtain, so we always skip it. They messed up the collision there. Like, if you want to collect that, you have to fly a really specific route, and it's not worth it at all.
You won the red rings?
No, the yellow one, that's
Yellow
like
rings.
up the right. The weird one.
Yes.
Hello, Harry.
I don't think I'm
Back with
too
some more
far
hip
behind you.
fighting, are you?
If it isn't too much
I'm on the
Uh,
blue rings right now.
Oh no, not at all. You're really close. I just started red, or not even. Countdown. Okay, now I kinda concentrate for red rings. I actually skipped 2 of them in my route per default. I can miss 3. I skipped 2 that are in really bad places. So I can miss 1 per accident and I should still be fine. That's the general idea at least. That's the first one that I skip.
got it.
Oh no. There's the second one that I missed.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That should be alright.
Monk and shake.
There's a good fellow.
I just take it really slow.
Well done, Buckbeak.
Whoa, okay, that was weird. I bumped against an invisible wall and I almost got dragged past the ring. It was really close. I think I got it. I will go for one ring that I usually skip in case I didn't get it, but it sounded like I got it. Better safe than sorry though.
Got it.
So that would be the one that I usually miss.
Well done, Buckbeak.
Okay, I'm good.
Nice.
No failed red rings. We are now up to my favorite part actually of the run. Not buying passwords but using them. Because the portrait passwords are awesome and you barely see them in runs or ever. Also there's a peace fight here that we skip. You might remember the beginning where we got out of the castle on that torch. And since the gate did never go down because we just jumped over it, it goes down now because it's supposed to go up. Also I need the secret. So yeah, okay, Ron just redirected my flying curve. Interesting.
Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, he's always in the way in this game.
Alright, I'm going on to the red rings right now.
Good luck. Yeah, you have the option to go back to the main menu. It's really stupid after red rings. In case you rage so hard at them that you don't want to play anymore, I guess.
Hi, Fred. Hi, George. We're not supposed to be selling this one. Gets you into a very secret area.
No, I've done that as well, yeah. Quitting the game after completing Buckbeak.
Oh, yes. Now this password.
So now we buy stuff and then we use it. We can only buy 7 portrait passwords right now because we don't have more cauldron cakes. But we will just visit one of them and we will have enough.
George, are you sure you want to sell this one? Right, it's a deal. Oh, yes.
Also, I didn't count how many I got already, which is not ideal.
Right, it's a deal. Never been tested this password. But you look like a man who's not afraid to take risks, Harry. All right.
I should buy one more, I think. The hitboxes for buying those things are really weird as well. The one in the middle especially. It's kinda hard to get into the animation. So now we don't have any more cauldron cakes left, but we still need 30 for the last one. So we get them now in this portrait password. Behind this door that I should have opened earlier but didn't for some reason.
Alright, got 119 cauldron. Good.
Nice.
I'm good to join you in the
Yeah, from now on it's just a grinding thing. With a few cool portrait passwords.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the game.
Same.
Because you don't see this in 8%.
Yeah, we do 2 secrets, 2 portrait passwords in any percent. This one is one of them. And the one behind Bertie Bots that we see later. Because they give you enough cauldron cakes to buy the last one and they're really short. Oh, come on. Okay, I have exactly 30, so that's good. If I would have been short by 1 cake or something, I would need to buy it. It's usually not too bad if you're short 1 or 2 cakes, but every cake you have to buy is a time loss, obviously.
Hi, Fred.
But they are right here. Fred and George are selling them as well.
Password. But you look like a man who's not afraid to take risks, Harry. Sounds good. I'll buy it.
So now the fun begins. Also, probably the last skip comes up now, where we jump down to the bottom. As I said earlier, there's no fall damage in this game. So we abuse that quite hard here. Oh, or not, if I don't get it. I will go back up, I guess, to go for it again. And sometimes you kinda soft lock for a few seconds on those staircases. I'm not sure why. Oh my god. I will get this. I don't care. It should still be faster than going down all the way. It's not a hard trick at all. You just jump over this cutscene. Go away, Hermione, please. Why am I just dropping down? Harry, could you jump? Okay. That didn't work as well. I will just stop doing this. But the general idea is kinda like how I did it, but not trigger the cutscene and you land up down there. And you don't have to take the staircase all the way down. It's usually not hard to do, but for some reason I didn't get it.
Hey, Harry!
Almost forgot that secret bit. Guess we should mention something about line RNG as well with
yeah.
Friend George. They have a bunch of different lines that they say whenever you want to buy an item. Some of them are really quick and some are painfully long. And it's all random, so you could either like lose a considerable amount of time just because it's Friend George, or you can actually save time.
Yeah. I think it's the same for the merchant as well. Pretty sure his lines are random as well. So yeah, buying cards is just a gamble. Also, these crabs in this secret are really weird. They behave completely different than any other crab in the game, because they bounce like crazy, and it's really hard to push them in sometimes. So I always wait until they walk backwards, because they always walk in themselves. If you cast too early, they will bounce. Yeah, like that one didn't walk backwards, and now I will have a hard time. Okay, I got lucky, but they bounce a lot. At this point we don't have the need for cauldron cakes anymore, because the only thing you can do with cauldron cakes is buy portrait passwords. And for some reason the devs included cauldron cakes in the last portrait password. So they're completely useless even on a casual playthrough after you bought all the portrait passwords anyways. So
How did
yeah.
I get that cutscene? Try doing the skip and just...
Yeah, I got the cutscene as well. I don't know why. Patched.
Whatever. Yeah, I agree. Better any percent. True, any percent of this game.
Yeah. So that's actually also worth noticing. We have an any percent category in this game and a better any percent category, because to reach the credits you actually have to buy all the portrait passwords and defeat the pixies and the monster book and Bugbeak. That's required to reach the credits. And any percent reaches the credits, but better any percent does not. Better any percent just finishes after Carpe Final. And it's way more fun that way, to be honest, because pixies are really boring. And we will see actually 2 better any percent runs come up in this marathon. The one with a drawing tablet, which will be awesome. I've never seen it before myself. And the big better any percent race that closes out the marathon.
I didn't even know that you could do Harry Potter with a drawing tablet.
Yeah, same. So those imps usually behave, so you get good, like, double kills. Neither have they, okay. So it's gonna be extra interesting, I see. You can't yet? Oh, okay. Let's hope they get it set up. I need a few more pumpkin pastries. I'm not sure if I'm good actually, but as I said earlier, you can always buy a few in Fred and George's shop. It loses time, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, in a pinch it works. You have to get pumpkin cards in order to get all the cards from the trader.
Yeah. Raccoon using the best emote, of course. Thanks for that.
Yep.
I get really lucky with the portraits right now. Sometimes you get close to them and they just don't open. And Harry says the password like 10 times and they don't open. I'm not quite sure why that is, but it's annoying.
That stuff happens during my run at NASA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I spent I think like 5 minutes on the tell me button.
Oh my god.
Like actually 5 minutes. Not like an exaggeration. It was terrible.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, it was
That
my
sucks.
fault though, because I didn't cap the game
Oh, okay, yeah.
for some reason.
Yeah, it might have something to do with the frame rate, but it's really inconsistent. People lost world record runs to portrait RNG in any percent. Okay, I should have enough. I only need 3 more pastries. Should be fine. And since books are the main enemy in this game, for some reason, we finish up with a book fight. With a big one as well. Okay, 410 pastries met, so we're good on everything. Now the real fun begins.
Oh hey, you're supposed to have 48. The card right? Or is it 47?
Yeah,
48?
I'm not sure. You need 68 after buying the cards, that's what I know. I have 48, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's 48 then.
Want to buy a collector's card, Harry?
So yeah, we buy cards here for a long time.
Appreciate the business, Harry.
Until we have 68, so that could take a while.
I've got
Sadly,
some
there's no other
collector's
way to actually obtain those cards otherwise. It's only this merchant guy, Scottish guy, that sells them. He has a great accent there.
Oi, Harry!
I've got some collector's
Why,
cards for
you-
sale, if you're interested. All right. Cheers, Harry. See you later.
Yeah, there's not really a strat for it. What I do is tap backwards 2 times and then go forwards because it seems to work relatively consistent, but it's just boring grinding, to be honest.
Hey, you three. Looking for any collector's cards? I'll buy that.
Just enjoy
Appreciate the
this
business,
beautiful animations.
Harry. Fancy buying a collector's card, Harry? Sounds good. I'll buy it. Thanks for the business, Harry. I've got some collector's cards for sale, if you're interested.
His lines seem to be like
It's a deal.
kinda the same length every time.
Business, Harry.
I'm not sure if he has better lines. I'm pretty sure he has some kind of line RNG as well, but it shouldn't be as bad as Fred and George's one. Because you will notice once I get there, they have really short lines and really long ones, as we said earlier.
Fancy buying a collector's
Would you consider a trade?
Yeah, they should have hidden the had hidden them. Yeah.
I've got a rare one for sale.
Sounds good. I'll buy it.
I mean, it's kind of how they did it in HP2 was kind of fine. To hide them, but also if you miss them, you have the ability to buy them. But here you can just buy them. You can't find them anywhere else.
Want to buy a collector's card, Harry? All right. There you go, Harry.
The good old HP2 trading memes.
Do you collect cards? I've got a rare one for sale.
You've got a deal.
Enjoy the card, mate. I've got some collector's cards for sale, if you're interested.
All right.
Only 5 to go for me.
Did you collect cards?
Alright,
I've
I've got
a
enough
rare one for sale.
or pumpkin pasties. Are you still on card grinding?
Appreciate
Yeah,
the business,
I
Harry.
need 4
Alright.
more.
Oh, you'll have me join you.
Yeah.
Interested in buying a collector's card?
We saw that coming, that both of us are on COD grinding,
Business, Harry.
but nothing we can do about it. It's over soon.
It's the most wonderful time of the game.
I'll buy it.
Thanks for the business, Harry. Hey, you three. Looking for any collector's cards?
All right.
Enjoy the card, mate.
And the last one.
I've got some collector's cards for sale, if you're interested.
Yeah, I'll take
Now
it.
we only need a few from Fred and George, and then we're basically finished.
The major.
Basically done.
Hi, Fred. Hi,
Better
George.
snatch this one up, Harry. All the third years are after it.
Yeah.
That was an average line, I would say. There are definitely longer ones.
Classic collector's card, that is.
Very rare.
Yeah, that one is the worst.
Very rare.
Very rare.
Extremely valuable collector's card, that one. Hate to let it go, really.
You've got a deal.
Just got this one in stock. Nice, eh?
All right.
You can't complete your collection without this card, Harry.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You can't complete your collection without this card, Harry.
Sounds good.
Okay,
I'll buy it.
that was decently fast, good RNG, I would say. And the last card is obviously Harry himself. I mean, he's not quite the last card in this game, actually. Because we have to revisit the Bean bonus room again.
The bean bonus room.
And there are 5 cards in here, basically. All the founders of Hogwarts and Dumbledore. That's not the right route at all. Whoops.
Alright, I got 10 more cards.
That's
to go.
not the right route as well. What? I'm confused. Whatever, I just go there menu. Oh, I have to go up to the top. I'm an idiot. Whoops. So that's the alternative strat for Bean bonus room that you should never do.
Nixxo strat.
Yeah. Now we can just leave. You... Oh, that's not well split. You would have the opportunity to actually get everything here because there's no timer. But no. Don't want to.
Well then.
And here we go.
Achievements list.
Oh, I can skip that. That's time.
Well done. All
For me at least.
GG.
Thanks.
completed.
Just let me check if I have everything. It looks like it there.
What was your time?
1:37:13 loadless. Thanks for the GGs.
Dumbledore. Dumbledore, 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 Dumbledore.
Ron?
Dumbledore, Dumbledore, Dumbledore,
Ron?
Dumbledore, 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 Dumbledore.
Let's see inside Ron's head.
Dumbledore, Dumbledore, Dumbledore.
Alright, I'm on my last card here.
Nice.
Dumbledore, 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 Dumbledore. Headmaster of Hogwarts. Harry Potter, the boy who lived.
Harry's art is so terrible. He looks so creepy on his wizard card.
Harry Potter, the boy who lived.
Meme percent. So yeah, it's kind of cool how they did it with the collector's cards in this game. They kind of have categories for them. Wizards, witches, famous Quidditch players, vampires, goblins, hacks, giants, dragons, beasts, my favorite cards by the way. I mean, just look at this beautiful troll. And like Dumbledore and the Founders. Famous wizards, I guess. Bonus cards. The name of that headmaster guy?
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore.
Headmaster.
Slugworth. I don't know why they give you cauldron cakes in final bean bonus room. Like,
Yeah.
You don't have any use for them anymore.
No, not at all. Thanks, Roboda.
Alright, and time's coming up for me as well. Time.
GG's.
GG.
Was a good race.
Yeah. Relatively not that far apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were pretty much at the same pace at Bug Peak. Like, we were like one curse behind me or something.
Yep, I got everything as well, looks like.
I mean, it's hard to tell because secrets are only tracked for the area you are in right now. Your level.
Yeah.
But we should have everything, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I guess that's it for us, right?
Yep, that's it for us. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. This was a lot of fun. Thanks, Nixxo. Thanks, Luigi.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It was great
Yeah,
fun.
stay tuned. There's a HP1 race on PS1 coming up. And, yeah. We need more HP3 100% runners. Though,
Yeah, for
so
sure.
get interested in that.
Learn this category. Card grinding is so much fun.
Ramon, you listening?
As the Hogwarts Express carried him and his
But yeah,
friends
I guess have a good day and thanks for watching so far. Have fun with the future runs.
Yeah.